Tuesday, January 14th. Then we're going to check in with the boys here right away and find out what's going on. And you can see here right away that they've got the tracks on with all the tires. Both sides seem to be both on. At least one side was done the other day, but this is the other side. So this is the progress they've made here today, and we'll check in on the other side. It's all done on this side as well. Tracks are on, all the tires are installed. I imagine they got the bogies installed at the same time, because I don't see the bogies sitting around here. But I wonder if they even got all the cleats and the backing plates on. So we're going to check on that to make sure that's done. So that's all been done, and they would have had to adjust the transmission and the engine and move it up a little bit. I know Dad had to make engine mounts and transmission mounts today, and I can hear he's got his metal cutter on full gear here, so we'll check in on that. Dad's got his new young apprentice working here with him, and they're cutting whatever they're cutting here. But they got the doors laid out for repair and painting and mudding and grinding and whatever else. So we'll find out what's going on here. So these doors still need quite a bit of work. As you can see, Dad's done a bunch of grinding and mudding and kitty hairing there as well. But they're going to probably reinforce the bottoms here. This one here has had some work done to it already. Probably got to do a lot more sanding there. But you can see how Dad's done the fill in there. And I don't know what they're cutting, but it looks like, what is that? Oh, he's probably making the engine mounts right now. So, we were working on this yesterday. And it looks like he has moved that up about an inch, maybe two. When they had everything out yesterday, they put the drop-in distributor in already, and everything else is tied down here for still haven't removed the chains or the crane, but I'm sure Dad will give us the update here right away. So Dad is still cutting out his motor mounts that he's going to be having to make here. He's got to make the motor mounts and the transmission mounts, because the ones you normally buy aren't going to be the how it's going to fit in there exactly. So he's doing that, and then on the inside, you know, Peter did a lot of painting there before. Gotta find the drive shaft and make sure it's cut correctly, and brakes already installed. That's usually a lot of work. So they got to get the gauges and then the dash mounted gear shifter installed as well. And they have the dash mounted gear shifter, and Dad uses like 1970s style truck camper van gear shifters. You would have seen on the previous videos. But we need the gear shifting cable, which has to be fitted exactly. So we've got one spare. We're going to see if we can get some made down in Winnipeg. Peter's going to take a trip next week to get that done. Be enough work here for Dad to do other things in the meantime, but still got to install that rad as well. Peter went and make sure that the rad was all record and good to go, and they got everything else fitted here into place. And we're gonna once Dad has the engine and transmission mounts made and correctly and fitted correctly, then they're gonna release it down. I guess one of the things is that drain plug for that engine's right underneath there, so they're going to have to change that little belly pan service access panel so that it's that drain plug's not rubbing on the drain plug. So yeah, these guys are still busy doing their thing here. I'm not going to interrupt them. Dad's got his new apprentice here. Pretty happy about this young guy. Shows up and works. I saw Coop drive down the highway here earlier, so he probably wanted to sneak out early. But let Dad and the young fella keep on working here. We'll interview him later. So end of the day here, Dad's got the young fella in there, and they're making the motor mounts.
I gotta weld that plate, move it yet, and
Yeah.
then it's done.
Okay. So you want to give us a walk around on all the progress here today? I saw the tracks are on, the wheels are on, the bogies are on. What else did I miss here?
The tracks went on first, then all the wheels
Yeah.
torqued up, all greased.
Okay.
The sprockets are bolted on, they gotta be retorqued yet.
Yeah.
And the tracks adjusted.
Okay. You got all the cleats and all the bolts and the backing plates back on?
Everything's on.
Okay. So how long?
Hardly any swearing again.
Yeah, hardly any swearing. That's good. So did you move the engine and transmission ahead a little bit, right?
It's all set up, that's where it sits now.
Okay. So now that you've got everything cut, you're just going to do some welding there tomorrow to...
We're gonna do some welding and drilling and bolting.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put a shim in here to get the rad out.
Okay.
Okay, are you good now?
Yep.
Let me measure.
Did you get yelled at much today?
Oh, just enough.
Just enough, eh? Okay,
Right on.
Dad's measuring clearance here for the fan because the fan can't be sticking out too much.
What I'm measuring here is this is gonna be dead center
Yeah.
in between.
Okay.
And it's right on now.
Perfect.
And all that is clamped and ready to be tacked tomorrow morning.
Okay. So, yes, this is what these guys have been working on. How did you enjoy installing tracks?
Well, it was alright.
Yeah? Okay. It's usually a lot of swearing and whatnot, but they figure out a way. Like I said yesterday, I've seen Dad do it about 5 different ways, but this way it was just easier taking off the sprockets and putting everything back on like that. And so yeah, so this is what these guys have been working on. Big production day of getting stuff put to get back together. With the tracks on and the wheels on and the sprockets and the bogies and everything like that and the engine in place, the majority of the heavy work is now done. There's a lot of work. Yeah, but that's a one-person job, really. Anyways, they got the engine in. They're just checking out the motor mounts here. Again, Dad still has to make that transmission motor mount, but it looks like they got something cut in place there, right there. And then the drive shaft has to go in. Like I said, the brake is already installed. Other work that has to be done here. Interior work, we'll see what Peter has to do. They're going to clean up the interior here. They're going to reuse that. And that's already been recut for the back. And so it's coming along really nicely. It's a sure difference from what these guys hauled out of the back corner of Peter's yard there a few months ago. So 12th of January, I think it was November 7th that walked in. So it's been in the shop 2 months, and we've already peaked now on the heavy work. That is it for today, guys. We'll check in back with these guys tomorrow and find out what's going on.